TA ban
does it
give
mean-
you a hint?
Does it mean they want leaner? I'm not sure, but maybe it's
Okay.
just more of what Kevin said, because TA can kill AA easily. Not
Or
very
Puck too. Puck's
Sure. Yeah,
bad
true.
matchup versus TA.
We've
That's
definitely
true.
seen them on Puck.
10
Oh,
seconds
very
reserve
tense
time.
moments.
It is crazy that in the game of Dota
5
here in
seconds
Moscow that
remaining.
this phase, or, you know, the 60 seconds decision that is made can have an influence on what is essentially a $500,000
I
tournament.
mean, it's a chess game right now.
Yeah.
Both teams are
Team
trying to figure out
Secret's turn to
what
pick.
their opponents wants to do. You ban it, or you intentionally give them the hero, then you counter pick it.
There's a lot going on.
And I think it's high. There's a pretty high chance that Secret does something synergy focused. Like they might even go
10
Zeus,
seconds
something
remaining.
magic damage most likely. I like that Ember ban for that. And it
5
also is kind of
seconds
reflected by
remaining.
the TA ban on Secret's side that they may have wanted that hero.
Reserve
So I think
time.
that's something OG has to be
Not
careful
sure though,
of.
because when you open up with 4 supports, it's like you can go into so many different things.
Yeah, but why would they? I mean, A is potentially useful and it does counter dazzle a
Mhm.
decent amount, but it's not everything. You don't just open with A just because you're
I
only
think
going to counter the dazzle.
they value the hero highly, because the hero got like 2-3 buffs.
It's been getting buffs for a long
Yeah,
time.
the cold feet, the vortex, the talent. I think this team actually values the hero a lot,
OG's
and
turn
they're
to
gonna have
pick.
some sort of a global presence. Storm plus the Ice Blast, very mobile.
Mm. Waiting for OG's response.
That's pretty good. So this game, Secret are going to try
10
to go for the
seconds
pick-off
remaining.
game instead of the last game with the tie. They were trying to play more together.
5 seconds remaining.
As OG go for more like a 5-man-ish game.
Reserve
I think I
time.
almost prefer seeing the team waiting to see the pick, just because you can see their reaction as
Yeah,
the
that's
hero
true.
is drafted.
That's why I feel like all these kind of scenarios you'll be more comfortable picking second. You get to see, oh, it's a storm. Okay, how do we deal with the storm?
Yeah, and that's probably the decision that Ply is making now.
We talk a lot about Dragonite when we see storm. That instant disable, a stun.
Was that banned last game, by the way?
Not sure though.
Mm.
8 hours ago.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was the super long draft.
I'm not
Yeah.
sold on Dragonite this game against AA Storm. Nyx. It's like so much magic damage. It's pretty good, but
They are using all time available
It's
to
very
them for
difficult
this.
to draft though. Like here, it's
So much on the line for OG. This next hero choice, not only does it indicate how the rest of the draft will go, but also it's their last
10
chance.
seconds remaining.
and they get a parry in here too, so they could even if they want to do something like tried and true, it'd be
Dragonite.
like Naga
Team
+1.
Secret.
There's not many good
Turn to
options.
pick.
That's the thing. They spend a lot of time before they pick that up.
Yeah.
It's very very difficult.
But is it safe to assume that there's a conversation for what those other 2 slots will be as well before that is drafted?
I mean, they could also be thinking about what we want to pick next. Okay, we know
Yeah,
we want
that's
to,
what
we
I'm
want a
saying,
DK,
Seconds
and
remaining.
we're just using the time and making sure that DK is what we
5
want right now.
seconds remaining.
So the plan for OG is
Reserve
more or
time.
less going to be trying to play as a team, push towers. You don't want to be split up against the Storm and Nyx. And Secret's team right now, so. They have a Ice Blast. That's pretty much it. So maybe they are going to be thinking of more of like a team fight hero.
Whoa.
Okay, that's the team
OG's
fight hero.
turn to pick.
KheZu Magnus.
Is that going to be fast paced enough? I feel like
Not
if
sure.
Dragonite's going to get 6 and start pushing towers,
Yeah.
or
Magnus is definitely not a fast hero. He tends to farm a lot more, but
10
it's
seconds
good for
remaining.
like the way KheZu's personality in the game. He's not a player that wants to move around too much. He's more like
Team
he wants to
Secret's
focus on his
turn
own
to
economy, get the team items. When he's ready, he joins his team, he fights.
Magnus for KheZu.
And
YapzOr on
Earthshaker.
Nyx.
So Earthshaker is S4's hero. Laning wise,
10
Earthshaker Tusk.
seconds remaining.
Not like
Not
not
the
like
best.
super strong, but it's okay.
5 seconds remaining.
They probably just wanted more like disable to lock down the storm, because when you're up against storm, the last thing you want is
Reserve
you have
time.
not enough disables and the storm just zips around over here, and he destroys everybody. That's what you don't want.
they have a lot of space control too
OG's
between
turn to ban.
Tusk, Dragonite, Earthshaker. Yeah, Stormsphere can jump around, but They can very easily block off the other guys.
I think they're gonna pick like some Naga, like some
Anti-mage.
super, yeah, anti-mage Naga.
Anti-mage is better than
something like
Naga
that.
here.
Yeah, I think anti-mage. Yeah,
10
anti-mage is good
seconds
against the
remaining.
storm. Yeah, seems good actually. The other 4 heroes are gonna be able to
5
fight
seconds
on
remaining.
their own very well, creating because like these 4 heroes are setting up for like a very big hero
OG's
coming out at the
turn
end
to
for OG, and they don't really have the last pick. So if you want to pick like something that fights very well but doesn't have very good lagging, you feel a little worried because the enemy has last pick. So maybe in this kind of situations, you are more concerned, about
10
having
seconds
better
remaining.
late game.
Understood. I mean, you saw No-Tail's face there. His
Yeah,
expression said a
it's-
lot.
It's really
5
tough here.
seconds remaining.
Very tough draft.
Could be. Could we see Arc Warden potentially too?
I don't like Arc Warden against Storm. I think it's
Reserve
really
Mm.
bad against
5
Storm.
Okay.
seconds remaining.
Even against Nyx, it's kind of iffy.
I'm just thinking about other
They
late
go-
gamers.
So they
because
go
we
for the
haven't-
push. Luna DK is like a very old school, like a Chinese push draft. They're
Okay.
still playing with the idea that we are going to have to stick together, play as a team, so the Storm doesn't pick us off and the Nyx with the Ice Blast. We're going to play as a team, push towers, and fight. And Luna is not a slow-paced hero.
10
He's a pretty
seconds
fast-paced hero.
remaining.
In the early game, he can use his ultimate to assist his
5
team in
seconds
pushing towers very well.
Their tri-lane's really strong too. They could maybe aggro try.
Reserve
Possible, yeah, possible, and
10
leave
seconds
Earthshaker against the Magnus. Which I think
How's that matchup then?
5
Not bad.
seconds remaining.
it should
So-
favor
so.
Shaker, right?
I think
Mm.
favor Shaker.
But
yeah.
Magnus can get the. Wow, that is greedy. That is greedy. Oh my
Why
god, that
even
was
pick Magnus?
greedy.
Van?
Gosh, that was greedy.
Sven and Magnus.
Is it too greedy though? Can they get away? If they get away with the greed, free game. But can they get away with the greed?
Okay, so at what point will we know if they've got away with the greed? Give us a time limit. Slap a time limit on it.
It's how many items Sven has, more so than
maybe
time limit.
15. If at 15 minutes they haven't really lost the game too much,
That's
I
enough.
think they should be in a very like 15 to 20 minutes tops.
Oh,
I think
man.
I think it might be too greedy though, so I'm siding OG this time.
Okay, you want to see a third? OG could get that reverse sweep started, Ben.
I do also think it's overkill, but I think Team Secret have been playing a little bit better, and they
Mm.
will be able to stall out. And with the team fighter on KheZu.
What was the last
10
OG pick
seconds
again?
remaining.
Luna.
I think that'll
5
work against Sven.
seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
Eclipse will be good enough. They just have to keep tempo going early, so I'm going to say OG.
All right then, it is locked in. It was a long, painful, and very, very thought-out draft for both sides. Perhaps even a little bit of a curveball towards the end there. But OG know that those 5 heroes are their only chance to stay here at Epicenter. To get to those playoffs, they have to pick up this win. And it starts with one here in the series to take us to a third. Let's meet your casters, though, as we once again dive into the Dotes.
Thank you very much, Alex. That's right, gods. We are getting ready for Game 2, Team Secret, Go Greedy. How do you feel about this, Ben?
Seen Secret get away with some greedy drafts. We've seen him do some early game aggressive drafts, like kind of like last game. So I think Secret is showing a couple different styles. They have a lot of different styles of work for them, and yet to see OG maybe find their form. So I'm still feeling pretty good about Secret, but Max Sven is, yeah, definitely greedy.
At the same time, they do have some decent deep push here. You've got the Ice Blast. You have kind of a pseudo counter to this 5-man potential with the Dazzle heal. The
Yeah.
Dragon Knight regen being somewhat mitigated. So if AA has a good start, feels like Secret could buy a lot of time with that.
It's always nice to know, like, when you initiate, the hero you go on is going to die, which is what the Ice Blast is theoretically meant to bring to the table. Dazzle Grave will not be a save against it. Perhaps the Tusk Snowball if it's, like, perfectly timed and you dodge the Ice Blast itself, but
Jarax
easier said
dodging
than done.
5-man Ice Blasts. I mean, if
Yeah,
anyone
yeah.
can pull it off on this hero, it's probably Mr. Jarax.
I like that OG have some contingency plans, like if they can't fully close the game out early, but they get an okay enough start. Shaker, very good at hunting a Storm Spirit, so definitely the right kind of pick to get for S4 in that offlane role, and curious to see how things go for OG, whether or not they can get that early game momentum.
I mean, perhaps the biggest thing, which, you know, the panel didn't really dive into too much, is YapzOr on the Nyx again.
Oh, yeah.
Do you feel like OG will be more prepared for him this time around? Are there any adjustments they can make so the Nyx doesn't just crush them?
They got a stronger lane. They got Dazzle Tusk, you know, they're not too afraid. Both these heroes are better level 1 than Visage and Kunkka, so, and Luna better than Drow Ranger. So I don't think we'll even see Nyx Assassin in the top lane very much, just because it's a lane that's going to be very tough to help out. YapzOr even has first item boots. He knows he's not going to be able to get close to them. He wants to have the movement speed. No point getting a poor man's shield if you're going to die anyways. So very clear change in his philosophy going into game number 2.
Yeah, and Secret running the mag offlane. Not a hero who wants to be up in your face to the same extent as a Tidehunter. So making an adjustment on their end. We'll see OG starting off in the defensive tri-lane here. And it looks like for Secret, probably YapzOr going to end up doing the same as well. Though for now he is sticking around mid, wants to out mid one early, but should have an okay lane against this Dragon Knight.
Yeah, we'll see if it goes like Mana Burner thing. Maybe not the best against the DK, but just securing early last hits and denies can be very annoying for a mid laner.
KheZu already getting some harassment from Jarax as well as Fly. They do have the Orb of Venom here. KheZu has not spent his skill point yet, but maybe forced into the early skewer. Meanwhile, bottom lane, S4 also getting bullied a lot with the Cold Feet connecting. This could be a first blood on the Earthshaker. He's extremely low. 2 more auto attacks would have done the trick, but
Level 1
he had
Cold
the
Feet.
boots, and he makes it out.
Level 1 Cold Feet is something. The guaranteed Stormhammer setup into another 2-second stun. That's a good 4 seconds of disable at level 1 with right clicks to throw in as well. S4 has a really tough time.
You get the 1 point in Chilling Touch, and that's an easy kill from basically full HP.
Yep. I like that Puppey went for the Cold Feet level 1. Normally you see like a Chilling Touch, harass, but he knows there is good kill potential, and getting level 2 can sometimes be a bit slow for a support. Not to mention YapzOr has some rotation potential as well. Then you're looking at 3 stuns, almost a full 6 seconds of lockdown. Top though, Jarax coming in with a snowball. Bye-bye,
Pretty
KheZu.
big dive on Mr. KheZu and OG. Very healthy. They'll take some tower shots, but...
Jarax at the tower on him, and then he denied it off onto Fly.
Meanwhile, bottom lane, S4 also in trouble. He goes for the Fissure. Stormbolt, though, will find him. They do stack the stun slightly with the Cold Feet coming through, but the body blocks are on point, and Secret strike back. So, slight win there for OG as they get the first blood, but... Meanwhile, in the mid lane, things going well for mid one so far, so... Bit of a win in that lane to somewhat equalize things.
He's going to change perhaps when Ana gets his bottle out. That's the kind of key swing for the DK once you're able just to spam that Breathe Fire to get your farm up. And Ana even going for the 2 points in Dragon Blood, knowing he's getting harassed a lot and just wants whatever help he can get. But tough patch to be an offlaner. We're seeing that here.
Oh, this could be a big move by Jarax, though. Bit after
Could
2
be.
minutes.
Here's the bottle.
Ana has the Breathe Fire. Now he's going to eat the tree. Mid one tries to rush back to the tower, but YapzOr comes streaming in with the haster and ready.
That is
Jarax slightly missing there.
Wow. He used to be the Tusk God, but his skills have transferred over to Kuro this tournament, it seems.
I'm not ready to fully dethrone him just yet.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, not the customary perfection we're used to from Jarax. Maybe Kunkka is more his hero now, you know?
No, he played a ton of the old Tusk, and the Ice Shards and how it works has been changed a lot. So maybe he hasn't just played as many games on the new one, but definitely a hero he's going to be very familiar with.
Oh, nice.
Puppey, he's rigged it. The 10% remain. 1 in 10 players did not DC LD. Something fishy.
Oh dear. And Ben Wu is here to give us the seething analysis of this particular Puppey pause.
Yeah, we're going to have to
Came at a
tape on that one.
Came at a crucial moment too, gods. Right after the creep spawn.
Yep. Just to make sure he got that side neutral pull off without being contested.
That was too good. Poetic justice.
Well, bottom lane and top lane for the offlaners, both having a fairly rough time, but getting some XP, some CS. I feel like S4 didn't go for the fissure block with his offlane shaker. Playing on that dire side, you can kind of get it pretty close to your tower, but I think ultimately he's kind of getting punished for that.
Yeah, so far OG just, the lane's going much smoother, not being pressured on no-tail. He's getting his early farm as KheZu is going to get rolled on here up towards the top side. Lucent Beam coming through, is holding onto the skewer now, trying to wait out those shards, and he is going to skewer Jarax away to the low ground, but now the shards come through, and you'll catch the tail end of it as KheZu is finished off.
Jarax knew what was coming and what he was looking for there. Really well played.
Yeah, it looks like he wanted to skewer away from Jarax, but Jarax just positioned himself right to take the trip with him.
Very tough to play this offlane now for Magnus. Not having boots means when Tusk hits you, gets that Orb of Venom slow, he can always kind of get in front of you, and it's hard to skewer away without the movement speed help from the boots of speed, and enables them to get another kill there. And things are overall pretty stable in the lanes. Both mid lane is getting farm, both carries getting farm. Feels like the two teams have matched up pretty evenly here in the laning stage.
So OG, much happier with the way things have gone so far. Now looking to transition. They are going to smoke. This is a powerful ganking combo. We saw it earlier as simultaneously the dive is going to come top or bottom lane. S4 caught out, will end up going down, but they're making this move on the mid one, and a kill on this mid storm much more crucial than an offlane shaker if OG can get it. The heal bomb is scary at this stage. Ana has taken the point and the stun. They're ready for it. They also are going to prep with the sentry. Jirax about to be scouted though. It's YapzOr to the rescue. Gonna find him. Do they still make the move? They're gonna snowball in anyway. Oh, that hail bomb really packs a punch. The stun's there from Yap. It's not enough. He has to carapace and retreat. And now Ana's on the chase. Lobs out the dragon tail, but OG unable to continue pursuit. A bit too low. So mid one dying again, gods. This is not that free cruisy start he had last time around.
He did get away from the first gank, but still he's getting pressured quite a bit, and even just the one death on the storm right before you hit level 6 can be pretty painful as DK beats him to level 6, but looking to get that as he comes back to lane, and oh god, S4.
This cold feet combination, S4
gets away this
lucky
time.
to make it out alive.
Mid lane, oh, he didn't get 6 hit on the storm.
Mid one getting ganged up on, and YapzOr can't do much about it. He does take the dazzle with him, but didn't even get the experience as he dropped first.
He TP'd back into lane like 3 or 4 creeps away, got 2 of those 4 creeps to level 6, and then just didn't respect the fact that Ana still had the dragon form up, so he still had that range stun, and the arcane rune meant he still had a lot of mana to work around with.
We've seen these Dragonite picks very deceptively strong, even in the early laning stage, as he stays up there in the CS department. He now nets a second kill. Again, the roaming and the pressure on mid one, netting an important kill for OG. Get a little bit harder now to take down the storm, but you know, that's where as the game goes later. You mentioned they do have tools to deal with the storm. They have the Earthshaker. Yep. They have good long-range initiation. The Tusk is good follow-up. The Dragonite Blink or Shadow Blade potentially later on can also gap close effectively. So it's not as easy for mid one to have his way with them.
The big worry is that KheZu is going to need a lot of farm and room to catch up on Magnus. He's gone for an Iron Talon. He's going to be jungling. So as far as creating space and allowing Storm to like catch up and farm the jungle goes, it's really just YapzOr. And he luckily does have Arcane Boots and has been effective enough in the early game that once he gets level 6, he can be very active, but finding that level 6 is going to be crucial. He can always get it level 10 with the tome. Ideally, he'd like to get it before then and give Puppey the tome.
Puppey just deleted Fly doing work on the Dazzle. It was Puppey last game who took over, and Fly doing it this time around. Dazzle, stock rising, perhaps.
Such good synergy with the Tusk. That was actually one of the old school combos OG used to run when Jerax was on this team.
Just roll in, you get a guaranteed 3-hero heal bomb, and they just melt.
Yep.
So OG group up again behind the Dragonite, and they start a push-in, and for Secret Gods, this is where the Sven pick isn't really ideal. You know, you've got safe lane carrier's gotten free farm, but he is not going to be contesting these pushes without an Ice Blast. Yep. They're just not in position to stall things, so OG going to grab an early tower advantage from the looks of things.
They're able just to leave Luna top alone because they know this Magnus is under-leveled, and it's an offlaner with not much kill potential, so the end result is very good.
Secret actually do want to contest. They're coming in. I don't think OG will expect this, though. They might just from the lack of heroes visible on the map right now.
There is a haste rune on Ana, though.
Haste rune on Ana. He probably makes it out S4 with a good fissure, perhaps, but the cold feet chain stun could be enough. Fissure is there. Ana able to just sneak out for the cold feet. The stun in the trees actually finds it, but YapzOr doesn't have the follow-up that he wanted, and now it's OG's turn to chase the other way. Ana comes in just as the haste rune, or sorry, just as the dragon form ends. He gets off the dragon tail, and now YapzOr going for the TP out with the carapace. Heal bomb. No, S4 slams the door, gets the stun, gets the kill in Secret. Not only going for the smoke, but having it backfire in their faces. Now have to retreat. Jerax. Shards are there. There is a snowball, or a storm ball lightning out, I should say, and he'll make it back, but that is really not ideal. And again, as you mentioned, KheZu, just Iron Talon, he's still catching up. He's not able to contribute either.
Yeah, and that's the big thing there. KheZu doesn't do anything wrong. It's the nature of the draft and the fact that KheZu couldn't lane against this tough tri-lane that results in that being a really unfavorable fight. If there isn't a haste rune on DK, it could go very differently, but even if you kill the DK, you want your Magnus. Your offlaner typically is the hero that you want TPing in, rotating to make that fight work. And unfortunately, KheZu not having farm, not having arcane boots with a TP RP.
A TP Ravage, that would be pretty sick.
Tied last game Magnus this one meant that it was very limited, and Secret's way to take that fight.
That would be fairly broken.
Now this game gets very hard.
But yeah, it's still farming time. Winterfell maybe a bit too greedy, and certainly the way the lanes have unfolded, it's looking like Secret need a lot of time that OG is not planning on giving them. Pushing in with the Dragon Knight, even bringing No-Tail to the fray, and he's gone for that early Dominator build. This extremely strong 5-man item. Offers so much with the aura health regen on a Dragon Knight at this stage. That's just 19 HP per second he's regenning gods.
That's the great thing. It's sustained for your push, and it's also a very useful spell. Right now he's stuck with the Ice Armor, which is a lot of bonus armor for your team. 8 bonus armor, which also applies a movement and attack speed slow. Sven can do nothing into this Ice Armor creep, and that's a pretty cheap, cost-effective item for Luna that you're happy to get just for the aura. And then you get all these added bonus with the Ice Armor, so there's a lot of utility coming out from this build, and I love that No-Tail is sticking with this Helm of the Dominator carry build that most carries still aren't going for now that the items receive some nerfs.
Feels especially potent this time around. Will they get enough done, though? As you look at Secret, they're definitely down now, losing early map control, having their jungle somewhat invaded, but they're really good at defending high ground and objectives as a team. With Ice Blast finally ready, Blink Dagger slowly being worked on for KheZu. If they get that next round of items, it could be big, but this ain't going to help. Fissure's there to start things off. KheZu forced, or rather Secret forced to TP to defend him. He won't die, but he's not there yet with the Blink. Only 27 CS.
Yeah, danger for Secret is you've got an amazing high ground defense, big team fight wombo combo, but any game where you lose all your outer towers, end up stuck in your base and can't farm, even if you've got this great high ground defense, better team fight, you're going to lose on gold. You get behind 10, 15k gold lead. Your opponents don't have to push high ground. They just have to take Roche after Roche, take over your jungle, deny you any team fights. And the end result is, yeah, you've got the better team fight and the better late game, but if you're 20k gold behind, none of that actually matters. And that's something OG can look to do if they actually find themselves in that position.
Jarax with a bold move into the middle lane. Secret have a large stack of heroes in the neighborhood. They just got done cleaning up the Ancients. And certainly excelling at those creep stack takedowns, but Secret group up again behind Ana, behind the Dragon Knight. Now they've popped down a sentry. They're going to find YapzOr, this pest from game number 1. However, still proving to be a pestilence here in game number 2. They commit on him. They're not able to do much, and the Dragon absolutely goes splat. OG losing a core piece of their push will be denied in their efforts here.
Nice little kill there. Whenever you get those stun initiations off the Ice Blast, very easy to land and secure those guaranteed kills, and I think OG are going to have to respect as they are not quite ready to fight into that full 5-man team fight with the current state of their items, but they definitely would like to keep applying pressure, finding pickoffs, and ideally using those sentries to get those kills on the Nyx Assassin, but just wasn't quite timed up there.
Time is Secret's ally here, but it could become OG's if they find this next push opportunity, and it's Ana who gets scouted out initially, mid-1. We'll see him, but coming in from the side is S4, and he's going to find his old friend, his old Capitan, down in the river, but backup comes in. They've got the tower still online. The Ice Blast is there, and again, they will strike, taking down Ana, but the trade is S4! Slams them down! Oh, that Shaker packing a punch. The level 4 Aftershock, don't sleep on it. Now the Fissure from distance isolates Puppey, and from the side, Secret looking to clean up Jarax, who was coming in for the assist. He's low, not dead just yet. Will they have the shockwave damage? It's level 3. The Grave comes out pretty early. MP, oh, the Shard pushing himself somehow down to the low ground. Gets him out to safety.
Okay, he's still a Tusk player, LD.
That was pretty dope.
Yep, he still knows some tricks on this hero, and
next level Tusker.
Yeah, they killed the DK, which is going to be a problem if they can't maintain some good level of farm on Ana. He definitely needs to scale and tank up a lot to survive these team fights, but the trade for Shaker was very good. Gets S4 very close to his Blink Dagger.
And it could make this next fight more difficult. Very close to the completed Blink now as the jump is onto No-Tail. Ice Blast again, it's perfectly placed by Puppey. Locking down No-Tail, they kill him off quickly, and now S4 trapped in the trees. This might delay the Blink. Isolated, boy, he would sure love the Echo Slam now, but sadly, that has a cooldown. Secret strike back. 2 cores for them. All 3 have died for OG in the last minute and a half or so. And the graph is certainly going to be sharply ticking up in Secret's favor on the back of that. Well, I talked about the high ground defense, but it's a tower defense too if they hit these Ice Blasts.
Yeah, the Nyx should not be allowed to get those free initiations off, but unfortunately for OG, their sentry placement was too far back, so Luna hitting the tower was just out of their sentry range. I think OG just got overconfident. it's kind of a basic kind of principle. You're pushing against Nyx, you play on the sentry, right? Like as close to the tower as possible, but because of Luna's position and the sentry position, OG get caught by a very easy Nyx initiation and stun into Ice Blast, no saving. I mean, you can't fault Dazzle there. If you throw a Grave, he's still going to die. Perhaps he does some damage before he dies with Eclipse, which is maybe where OG, No-Tail is one of those selfless players where he's like, okay, maybe I go down here, but at least if I get Graved and Eclipse, we may win the fight while I die if my teammates can clean up, but...
It's a lot of ifs.
Yeah, it really is, and I think for OG, ideally they just don't want to be getting initiated on. They want to be the ones starting the fight, perhaps waiting for that Shaker blink, and they need to stop exposing themselves to this big team fight of Secret, where they get a stun to initiate, Ice Blast to follow up, and find these easy picks.
But they want to push. That's really the crux of the problem for OG.
Yep.
They don't want to sit back, trade farm against a Sven, a Storm, an Ancient Apparition, even a Magnus who now closes in on the max Empower. And Sven is already blink complete for MP. Incredible farming potential this game, and still up there with the Luna.
I like the build too. We're seeing a lot of these other SMY, Halberd pickups early, but getting an early blink means that if the sentries are there and Nyx can't initiate, Sven can now set up the Ice Blast. I think MP...
And he doesn't have to be all the damage because they have this AA.
Yeah, any hero you jump with like a God Strength, Blink Stun and an Ice Blast should be a kill at this point. There's maybe a Dragon Knight who's taking it up, but the others are just looking very squishy.
OG's starting to feel a little more scared now. They're backing up to their side of the map. You can see the Nyx's economic impact as well with all these sentries layering the map, keeping Fly in a very killable state.
This poor Dazzle has money to spend, luckily, thanks to some of the towers, but it's going to all go into detection at this point, most likely. And only now, Dragon Knight picks up the armlet. A couple of deaths in a row. Anna was having a fantastic mid lane thanks to a couple of ganks, but it was set back. And see what the next plan is for OG.
A scary item against AA. You got to be very careful with that.
Yeah, it definitely can be. When you're pushing it, you just have to leave it on. If you get Ice Blasted, just leave that sucker on and hope for the best. But likely, yeah, he's got the BKB and a Blink queued up. I like these pickups. You don't really want the Shaker to have to always be the one starting a fight, having a hero like a Dragon Knight who can frontline as well and blink in, stun, and let S4 kind of wait for that big blink echo opportunity. Could work out well for them.
Smoke to the bottom side of the map. The line has been drawn. OG gonna see YapzOr now showing himself in mid, but they want this juicier kill. Mid one would be a crucial takedown. If they can find him, they have some decent initiation with that blink for S4. Looking for the echo jump, but behind him is the Magnus.
Oh, could they get
YapzOr
both?
as well. They might get a 2-for-1 special. They might only get KheZu, who's just got his blink, and 10 gold, 5 gold, skewers out. I think he lives long enough to purchase it. Oh, gee. Had they known, they'd be extra salty.
Yeah, worth even committing an echo for that one if you could, but now it's Secret's turn. If they want to turn around, smoke up themselves, look for that big team fight.
They're the ones with the surprise.
Definitely theirs to take, and this is really tough game for OG to play now. This insta first 2 AA pick just completely ruins the Dazzle and combos so well with Secret's draft, and yeah, they immediately smoke up.
YapzOr's in front, has the Vendetta. Remember though, OG have been very diligent about sentries, so if he just tries to walk in to start the fight, they might have their surprise unveiled a bit prematurely. Carapace quickly as he runs up the cliff. Nothing scouted, but an important kill to be gained. It's Ana who gets balled on again, pulled back into the Ice Blast. See you later, Ana. Secret just dealing with the Dragon Knight. Another pick on him. And all of a sudden, that OG lead that was once 4,000 gold around 10 to 12 minutes has evaporated, basically dead even. And arguably in Secret's favor at this point.
This can't teamfight LD. S4's found a fortunate Invis rune, and this could actually get them a big kill though.
Mid one. No, they hesitate.
Oh no.
And he balls away.
Yep, that slight hesitation. It's so awkward going for that gank around the trees because you think you have it, then he goes into Fog for a second just because... Oh, Blink Echo, they still want it.
S4 sees he's out of mana. He's going to commit for this at mid one. Down anyway at the tower.
You take that.
If there was a hero behind him, S4 may have just died on his own, but he takes the risk. It pays off. Mid one, like he balls away there, Gods, and he figures, I'm out of here scot-free, but he was wrong. Ana, not another death for him into the Ice Blast pile driven by the Magnus. Oh, goodness gracious. He cannot keep dying.
You gotta stick. You
1
cannot.
and 4.
cannot play alone when you're against a Storm Nyx with AA Ice Blast. I mean, you've got 4 heroes with catch and then 1 hero with some damage to go flying in to stop you using your armlet and to stop the Dazzle from saving you. It's a perfect draft setup to deal with a hero like DK. And at this point, after these subsequent deaths, he may just say, like, I can't get Blink anymore, guys. I need this BKB as soon as possible. But
Jerax is in trouble. Bottom lane, good pull in for mid one. Has the follow-up, rolling forward again. The Walrus Punch will hold things down, but not enough. Even the Sigil can't save him. Mid one gets a kill. Fortunately for OG, Bloodstone isn't quite there yet, but unfortunately that was a dominating streak that Jerax just gave away.
And that gets him up to the Bloodstone with that. That was a lot of gold for mid one to be picking up with that kill.
They're just not able to stay focused on the strategy here, guys. OG getting picked off. They've itemized on No Tail. You look now going into an Aghanim Scepter. He's not trying to turn this into a farm war and take it late. Ana went for the early armlet. They want to push, they want to pressure, they want to 5-man and take towers, take Roche, snowball the game, but all these pickoffs are taking the wheels off of that train.
Yep. Definitely some interesting ideas behind this Ag Scepter where, like you say, No Tail recognized going late game, trying to outfarm him is not going to work. He wants to match up to Secret's teamfight by getting this item, being able to just get the backlines, put this on a hero like a Dragonite who gets gone. And if you commit 3-4 heroes on a DK and he's got an Eclipse on him, well, suddenly that may not be such a good fight for Team Secret. So I like this pickup a lot for No Tail, but it also does put OG's draft even more so on a timer.
Yeah, did elect for the +40 Lucent Beam damage talent.
Oh, beautiful. That's how you play this Ags build. So much AoE damage. If you can get up to level 18, that's where OG's going to hit there like a really big peak. Level 18 Luna, maxed out Eclipse, Aghanim Scepter upgrade, and potentially hitting that when there's only BKB on Sven. And the thing is, normally this BKB Sven on the front lines is tough to deal with, but the Ags you can actually just do it on an AoE. You can just put it behind the Sven, kill all his teammates if you'd like to.
Yeah, for Secret, they are pretty mobile, though. They have 2 Blink Daggers, YapzOr probably going to build one. Actually, no, he's going pipe. He's going pipe, so this is the counter to the Luna, perhaps.
I like it.
And No Tail has already shown the build with the point booster. I mean, I guess it could be a Scotty, but
yeah, you're expecting
it's at least in the realm of possibility he's going Ags.
It's a clever call from YapzOr to get this item for the team. He's already just going for stats with the drums. Initiations like Blinks and Force and Ice, but they've got a 4-stuff coming on Puppey. And Initiation they've got in spades with the Sven, Blink, the Magnus Blink, and a Storm Ball Lightning. So it's not his job necessarily to be able to blink instantly on top of enemy heroes.
OG forced to slow the game down, and Secret using this time to farm. Does still No Tail well ahead in the net worth department here, up to 11k.
He's done very well to
Public enemy number 1. He's actually even with the Sven on CS, but still way on top when it comes to net worth. Actually, no, not as far as I thought. Only 1,000 gold, but still a decent margin, considering he's not gone for like a pure farming build.
OG trying to bait this mid-tier 1. Secret not taking it, even though they see Shaker bottom.
Here, who's going to get the jump here? It's YapzOr in front, walks right into a sentry. OG lurking back, and now the Walrus Punch to start things off. They commit a lot on YapzOr, but balling in from afar is mid one. The Ice Blast is there again. Jump the Dragonite, hit him with the Ice Blast, shut him down. That's the call for Secret, and it seems to be working so far. The Echo Slam from S4, decent but not enough because MP has the BKB just slashing away. What's the Sigil 2? Can't quite finish it though, but they get the kill. Again, the Dragonite down. The Echo Slam committed. They lost their Storm, but now they can turn on to towers, and OG, lacking firepower, have to back away. Even in the middle of that fight, No Tail forced to commit his Eclipse, so very little left in reserve for OG for a potential next fight.
Man, Secret just playing so well. They're so fast to respond and just burst down that Dragonite time and time again. So difficult for Ana to go into these fights. He really just is struggling because of his lack of farm and items. Feels like OG may have just rushed things a little bit and not respected the power of this AA, because DK desperately needs a BKB this game.
It does feel like it could have been very different. You take away some of those pickoffs and the deaths on Ana, especially when they were trying to push top, and that tower's probably down. It's a very different game, but instead it's Secret just finding the openings. Ana TP's in again, this time into the RP. Again, the Ice Blast there. Grave ain't gonna save you, my friend, and neither will it No Tail as the game collapses. OG are reeling punch after punch, blow after blow from Puppey and friends, closing in on the win here. Secret continue to deliver in the group stage.
OG on the brink of elimination in the group stage. I cannot remember the last time OG would have been eliminated in the groups. Maybe like one of the first times ever.
It's back-to-back events. If they go on to lose this, gods, where they've disappointed, you know, dropping a series to Faceless in Manila. Certainly Faceless, one of the strongest teams from Southeast Asia, but a team that OG you'd expect as major champions can deal with. And now, quite likely to fall here to Secret. The Aegis already grabbed by mid-1. And OG, despite this desperate smoke, a bit late to the party. No echo anyway, so it would have been an uphill battle to take that fight.
See if OG have any deviations in the script for now. Problem is they can't just be like, okay, our DK needs a blink or BKB, let's just farm him, because Secret are just going to start picking you off. With 4 good initiators, a roaming Nyx who's just constantly scanning people out, you can't play the farm game. You've got to stick together as 5, and when you're sticking together as 5, DK is not finding much farm at all. So very tricky for OG to play this one out. The Ags for No-Tail is completed though, something they can look to structure their next fight around.
Yeah, his Eclipse had better be big because his farm is now getting Eclipse. Sven is atop him. Magnus has also grabbed a Midas. Secret having more and more access into late game as again YapzOr starts the party, finds Fly early, gonna deal with the Sigil. Nah, he says I'll take the hero kill instead. And it's just like a highlight reel of OG heroes on their own being punished, whether it's the Dragon Knight, now Fly starting to get picked off. They're just not able to group as a team, and even if they did, gods, at this point, I'm starting to feel like they have a low percentage to win those fights anyway.
I think that's Fly like, all right, my DK needs an item, go farm where it's safe, I'm gonna go create some space for you, but YapzOr is finding pick after pick.
More and more, S4, you can't afford this death, my friend. Up to the high ground he goes, KheZu there, cuts him off, drills him with a well-placed shockwave and finds the kill. Puppey lending some moral support there with the Ice Blast. And Secret just continue to stride forward, but bottom lane MP has been caged up. He's got the BKB. BKB TP out. Don't know that there's a whole lot to do with there. Is a Walrus Punch. He's going to turn, try to fight the Walrus Punch, now commit. MP standing his ground. He's low, though. Has to get out of here soon. The team is coming. Buying time. The shards off the mark. Oh, that could really cost OG. KheZu's in position with the RP, but they have to beware the Eclipse.
The Eclipse.
Ooh.
Just to get the Sven kill,
they almost all walked into it. Secret were like, we could take this fight, but No-Tail could also just get himself an ultra kill.
Sven had blink up as well. So.
Now they want to fight though. YapzOr sticking around. Puppey's there. He's got the Ice Blast. What an impale! Sets it up on 2. Well done, well placed. So they have to follow up. KheZu comes in. Not the best RP, but it's decent at that. That'll net them a second. Fly in the trees. Now no teleport scroll either. Even Ana coming in a bit late. Stuns mid-1, but doesn't have the damage. They're going to lock him down for now. Trapped in the trees, but of course he can ball his way out. I don't think they saw Fly's lack of TP. 20 seconds without one. Now, although he has it, waiting on the cooldown, but seems he'll be given his time to make it away.
Well, things go from bad to worse as Secret take fight after fight. Sven goes down there, but it's such a small consolation prize when you're losing your Luna, your Tuscan, giving Secret even more to play around with. As I said, MP could have lived there, but he was trying to just, I think he was actually trying to bait OG in, which would have been like, which ended up kind of happening there. Wasn't kind of anticipating a solo Ags Eclipse on top of him, because he could have blinked out earlier.
But it's fine if they use that. That ultimate is such a huge cooldown, 140 seconds. It basically is their team fight. OG have Echo Slam, but that alone will not net you kills with the farm that Secret have as YapzOr closes in on a pipe too.
It truly is the one spell, like it's everything.
With this build, like there's no physical damage. It's just Dragon Knight with an armlet, and we've seen Ana do absolutely nothing for nearly 20 minutes now.
Will be the ones pushing the lanes, perhaps looking to use this Aegis on mid-1 to start another fight. He's even got an Orchid now, so no BKBs on either carry make dealing with this item very, very difficult.
Finds his opening, jumps in again, the snowball's there, decent save opportunity by Jarax, dodges the Ice Blast, rolls them into harm's way though. MP is waiting with that cleaver of his, gets the stun on No-Tail, pushed back but not quite enough, they pull him in, he does get the grave, he's a bit tankier, Looks like he's likely to drop. What else can they find as a trade in turn? The echo comes from S4. They need the ball for MP. KheZu skewers him away, saves his friend. MP survives. Now the war cry back. Jarax cutting him off. Barely at that with the shards, but still it's on the run. The Dragon Knight scurries back to high ground. Impale slightly off the mark. The fissure cuts them off at the pass. Now S4. And again, mid one's maybe got a little cocky, though the RP is there and he's got the Aegis. Round 2 likely to be uglier for OG. They continue pushing their way forward. Mid 1, plenty of mana to play around with here. Has to be careful though. Shrine gets tapped. They will down S4, and now they back. A pretty decent trade for that Aegis.
Yeah. I feel like that's the only way OG can actually win team fights now, is dodging an Ice Blast. Unfortunately for them, they didn't have the Eclipse, and it also was an Aegis on Storm Spirit. If they can dodge the Ice Blast when the initiation comes, there's a hope for them in a team fight. If that doesn't happen, whoever gets initiated on, be it the Dragon Knight or the Luna, is going down, and I think OG's hopes to win a fight without one of those heroes is taken away.
Well, the counter to that Eclipse has now arrived. YapzOr, as a 4-position Nyx assassin, has secured a pipe of insight to go with the Drums Arcanes. Incredibly farmed.
Yeah, that's very impactful.
He is 6-2 and 14, and they have 21 kills this game.
His involvement for the Secret team, he was such a good pickup to bring in to replace Pilot, just bringing in such a big playmaker, and Puppey transitioning fantastic into that 5-position role. He's going to have a Glimmer Cape too as far as magic immunity and resistance go. Puppey is going to be able to help out teammates in that Eclipse, potentially even save their lives if there's no detection. So
Jarax trying to push these lanes out. TPs, Puppey gets vision on him, and MP, just seconds late. They'll make it out, and he desperately tries to stall, but you do have to ask, what can OG stall for at this point with the talents No Tail's taken, the way they've itemized, even just the raw scaling of the lineups. Had they gone greedy, it feels like Secret have that late game anyway.
They can stall for that BKB team fight, but again, if Secret see those BKBs, they may just play the map. Storm can have a fantastic time scaling into the late game. Mag Sven, you've got team fight, you've got great late game potential. Magnus has a Midas, so you can look at like Shadow Blades, refreshers in the future as well. Secret definitely in cruise control with the lead they've got.
YapzOr on the hunt, as he so often has been, and Fly sits back. Safety and protection of his team. Dropping observers.
They'd love to find a jump on Puppey. He's actually a big kill to get at the start of the fight. Problem is, if you all jump him, you may just get chain stun, RP, Sven stun, impales. There's a lot of AoE disable on
the counterplay potential from Secret is huge.
Yeah.
Not going to find an opening. OG just tucked away as a squad of 5. Meanwhile, MP farming up a Storm in the jungle. And that's really the advantage Secret have, is not only do they probably have the better raw late game on paper, but they have a lot more confidence moving around the map. MP unlikely to die with the BKB, as well as the lack of like proper gankers for OG. They don't have the Invis heroes, they don't have the Ice Blast. So they can get more off the map even when they're not getting kills.
I like this from Secret. As far as itemization goes, they're all building towards BKBs. They recognize that this Eclipse is 75-80% of the damage in these team fights. If we get BKBs, Luna's going to do nothing. And Luna's also likely getting a BKB as her next item to stay alive. Well, she's going to do no physical damage. So having BKB on Magnus, BKB on Storm, BKB on Sven, as he's had for a while.
And the pipe.
It's going to be too tough to deal with.
Now a jump forward, Ice Blast again, and yet another kill. Secret rolling in the dough. Puppey will take his 10% there. And now the tower likely next on the list.
Fly at mid, nothing much he can do. He actually, I feel like his net worth has just gone down because of how much he's had to keep buying sentries. He's been getting picked off. He's had these same items for the last 20 minutes, but that's life against the Nyx Assassin and life when you're playing from behind. So Secret will take a free tower up top, get themselves a bigger lead. Waiting on Roshan, perhaps they've got the Nyx illusion there, and an Aegis and Cheese awaits them with that second Rosh, so that's going to be a key tool to perhaps look to close this game out.
Well, one last gasp for OG might be the BKB. As you mentioned, No Tail could be a slight game changer, finally does have it. At least won't get chain stunned. Maybe the RP could punish him, but likely gets this BKB off, especially defending the high ground. Now, whether or not they can dish out damage, that is the question, but OG will certainly give it one last shot. Secret content to sit back, looking for their opening, and now OG with the BKB ready, make their move. They lead with Ana. He doesn't have one though. He's a chain stun kill. Grave has not proven much of a save this game.
Storm also has a BKB for this fight, so unless they like blink stun him and eclipse him during the chain stun, it could be bad.
Radiant Scan might scout this out. OG staying on the other side.
They're trying to bait the rune.
YapzOr, oh, that's not really the hero you want. He's going to take it, and Ana even blinking in. Time and again, it seems like he's the one getting caught out. Mid one's there with the pull. He gets off the BKB. The Eclipse rains down from above. Does bring the Nyx low, but he gets off the Carapace, locking no tail position. He survives for now. He's going to completely withstand this onslaught. Ana isolated on the low ground. Feels like the story of this game. A dragon completely having its wings clip. The Ice Blast there, but a great snowball save by Jaradat gives him the breath of fresh life. Isn't enough? MP still hanging on, holds the BKB. They've got the RP. They're hanging on. No tail out in front. In danger, though. He can't withstand this level of physical damage on his own. He needs the backup. KheZu coming in there with the RP. They don't have the follow-up. Perfect fissure. OG outfighting the crap out of Secret, completely isolating KheZu. They're going to bring him down, too.
Storm's respawning, but they back off. OG, oh my gosh, how do they win that fight?
Outplayed. Oh, goodness.
The Tusk plays. Jaradat was just out of his mind with some of the shots. He kept the Dragon Knight alive for so long. He actually shards blocked him against the wall, which kept like the melee Sven away. That was insane. Then he blinks down and snowballs him, keeps him alive even longer. They took so long to kill the Dragon Knight. He gets a shard with the fissure at the end to save the Luna as well. I can't believe how well played that fight was by Jaradat.
The best part was the Eclipse did basically nothing. It brought the Nyx low, and that was it. And they still come out on top.
Well, it's
breath of fresh air.
Still a big uphill battle for OG. They are down 14,000 gold against the lineup that is meant to take them in the late game, and they have not itemized for late game. We get to see
need like
another look at some of these plays.
Three more fights like that. Oh, I don't know if we should be looking at these because YapzOr is hunting no tail mid. The Luna in danger, gets caught out, stunned for now. MP there chunking him down. No tail out for 75, and well, just when you think it's a breath of fresh air, Secret are collecting a free Aegis cheese.
That's tough. They know they're so much stronger with the Eclipse down. Even with the Eclipse not doing a whole lot last fight, it's still a key tool for OG in those team fights. And Secret, Aegis cheese make it very difficult for OG to do much now. If anything, they may just have to resort to defending high ground at this point.
That's where Secret can just chuck the Sven way out in front, let him wail on buildings, and counter-initiate if he gets jumped. I got a 60% net worth increase from that last fight, so
nice.
He's a happy dazzle. More sentries for the squad.
Dragon Knight just can't find the room to get a BKB up right now, which is making his life really tough. Anywhere he goes to farm, the Nyx immediately beelines for him, and I
think he bought the gem, right?
No,
sorry, that's
Dragon
Jaradat.
Knight? No, I believe it was the Tusk, or at least one of the supports.
His item progression has just been non-existent this game.
He's been on the receiving end of every Secret gank throughout this mid-game, and it's tough to play DK when your team gets put in a position where you can't five-man push because Secret have such a good defense against it.
Yeah, we'll get another look at this. Again, the fight started with Ana jumping in, but YapzOr very quick on the reactions. He actually even eats almost the entire clips, never dies through all of that. But mid one also was quite ineffective getting the kill on Ana.
I think it's S4 who blows him up here. It would be a...
It was great timing on the Echo. The Ice Blast slightly late, doesn't end up netting them an early kill. MP largely gets kited by the Sigil. That's, I think, one thing to mention is Sven is not is somewhat dealt with by that Sigil.
That fight really came down to S4 and Jaradat. So you mentioned Jaradat's play already, but yeah, S4's Echo Slam was the majority of the damage output and kept OG alive.
That's just the issue for OG, right? It's unreliable damage. It requires like imperfect execution. I don't feel like it requires that for Secret. It's like just get one stun on somebody, hit them with Sven, or ball in from distance and storm with a nice blast. That's probably your first kill, one or two more, and the fight's over. So ease of execution is there for Secret.
Now they get themselves on the high ground. Very hard to find a way to initiate on this one too.
I don't know if you mentioned it, but KheZu also has a BKB now.
Yeah.
Yeah, mass BKBs are in vogue.
Options for Secret seem to be, we don't need to push now, let's go back, let's farm, let's push out these lanes. Both mid and top have waves at the tier 2, so rather than find yourselves in a spot where you may not break the high ground and miss out on farm, they're just going to play the efficiency game, and they've still got a good 3 minutes to go for another high ground attempt, or at least wait for a fight or a good team pick off to lead them into
they
high
just
ground
venture
push.
Out of their base. They are a bit scouted out here. Gem is not in the neighborhood. That's Jerax packing, and he's all the way over to the right. Ice Blast having a fish off the mark, but Secret still marching up. YapzOr quite confident here. Perhaps a bit too much, gets the push down.
Nice force.
And back towards safety. And finally, Honest BKB is complete.
You can see YapzOr, very confident Knicks player. He immediately runs up to the high
speaking
ground.
of confidence, Mid-One's got that too. MP jumps in, BKB deletes the Dragon Knight. Story of this game. Getting picked off at crucial moments. Ana has had a rough go of it, and now Mid-One leaping further, going deeper. KheZu's there. Nice RP. The follow-up comes through. Your Eclipse does nothing. No tail, they say. One swing of that sword nearly finishes him off. Aegis does get popped. MP keeps a cleaving through, and last desperation times now emerge for OG. No Eclipse, no Echo, no Dragon Knight. They'll triple buyback to hold the line, but the gold loss is catastrophic.
Yeah, it's one of those fights where there's enough heroes in that Eclipse that the damage just gets spread all over and couldn't quite finish anyone off with it. The Storm Aegis was expended, but that's exactly what Secret had in mind. Mid-One chewed through his entire mana pool to chase, and he wanted to die. He wanted to get those the replenished mana to continue to chase and do damage, and the triple buyback means this gold lead gets absolutely out of control. 27, close to 28,000 lead for Secret. They don't get a Rax, they don't get a T3 tower, but they are in prime position to do that with one more team fight. They also may just force it. They know there's no Echo Slam, no Eclipse. OG's tools to win a team fight are taken away at this point.
Secret. It's not really a crucial match for them. It's the LGD match, as you mentioned, Gods, that will decide their fate, but this certainly gives them confidence going in, and more confidence for Mid-One as he jumps forward, but a good snowball save. Doesn't seem to matter, though. Ana tried to limp away, and that means Mid-One will pounce. Forces him back, isolating Jerax, now taking the Tusk out of the picture. No tail, standing his ground for now. Sven arrives. Has that God Strength ready to go. He's hitting for almost 700 damage a swing. Doesn't even need to activate the Satanic just yet. Stun is there. Chewing rapidly through the Luna, forcing out the BKB. Yap adds a bit of assistance, but only tickles the Luna in comparison. That is almost the max weave to keep him alive.
Oh boy. So hard to fight into.
MP's about, right he's going for butterfly now.
Kind of like a high ground pushing item in some ways. You know, you just get the evasion against the tower. You know DK Luna are so starved for items. They're not getting an MKB anytime soon, and neither of them is going to be able to right-click you down.
The Secret slow things down now. They'll shove in the bottom lane. Mid-One clearing this wave out, and the team convoying in, dropping cheese as they go. Passing that off now to Yap, and congregating. MP will shove in mid. Looks like they want to be systematic about it.
Wait for the pickoff. You've got some nice deep wards up. You know the Dire team has no wards because of the gem, or at least the wards they have two, but they're in useless positions right now. OG are not playing. When you have wards up, you want to be fighting around them, but there's no fights happening on the Radiant side of the map at this point. So Secret have the vision advantage just because of where OG are stuck in their base.
But OG have the high ground. I'm not going to need to avoid pulling out his Anakin Skywalker if he wants to take this fight. Here comes the ball, and Mid-One goes right for Fly to start the fight. Gets off the BKB, silencing him. Not following up with damage output, but YapzOr's there with the stun. Connects for the kill. MP, meanwhile, looking to hit really anyone. KheZu's with the RP, but he pushes him away. Might open up an opportunity here. S4 getting the Echo off. The Eclipse rains down, and it only tickles. Nothing in the end. No damage for OG. The road ends here. Eliminated first from Manila. And now Gods from Epicenter. Your Kiev major champions looking a little mortal.
And that's one of the funny things with OG. They have won more Valp